talk a little bit about the benefits. A number of folks have talked about the branding benefits of these new TLDs, which I think are substantial. But there are also some security benefits, and that comes from aspects of control around your brand. When you own a TLD, much different than today, when you own a TLD, the first piece of control you get, that's a big security benefit, I believe, is control over who can have a second level domain, a second level registration in your TLD.
So in Deloitte's case, that means because they own .Deloitte, they can hand out anything else.Deloitte to whomever they want.
Exactly right. They can keep out anybody they don't want to have a registration there, and they can invite in anybody in their community or anybody in their realm of business associates that they want to bring in. And that's important. I like to use an example of Rolex, for example. We're not talking to Rolex, and I don't know if Rolex is even considering this, but it's a premium brand. It's subject to a lot of internet issues like fraud and cyber squatting and other kinds of things, which I'm sure cost them a lot of money every year, and it's a lot of trouble. But if you had a .Rolex, if they had a .Rolex, they could allow into the TLD to have only authorized dealers of Rolex. So when a customer went to any site in the .Rolex TLD, they would have the confidence that they're actually getting to an authorized site and not to a site that's offering fraudulent goods or counterfeit goods or what have you. And it's a huge issue on the internet with not only premium watches, but all kinds of premium goods are being counterfeited on the internet. And really the only way, or one great way to solve this significant problem is to get your own TLD and just have your dealers. You can even require your dealers to use a .Rolex address instead of whatever they're using now. I mean, probably keep that one going, but in addition to that, have one that is the authorized site for their Rolex sales.
The authenticated, any name for it to be authenticated in that case for Rolex would have to end with .Rolex, and once you've gotten all your resellers to switch to that, you start educating the market so consumers know that as well.
That's exactly right, David. They know who their authorized retailers are. They have an agreement already with those folks. There are strictures and requirements and so forth and so on in those agreements that have all been spelled out and have stood the test of time. As these evolve, and if someone did apply, if they did apply for .Rolex, they could actually require these franchisees, these dealers, these distributors to use that extension, their Roland.Rolex extension, to operate Roland's Jewelers, which is an authorized outlet for Rolex watches. And that gives protection for the brand, and it also helps build the brand because it increases the trust level that people are going to have going to a .Rolex site on the internet.